Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, as you might be seeing on your screen right now, we are going to be predicting the group stages of the upcoming World Cup. And well, I've kind of already recorded this one, but then we have had some news about various injury issues with various different teams, so I'm just gonna do it again. And also I just got this jersey, so yeah, I mean, it would be a waste to not use it in a video. So yeah, I am going to use it in a video. So anyway, this is my prediction for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. The group stages, at least I'll do a separate one for the knockout stages when that comes around, because I'm sure I'll get this wrong. So yeah, let's just knock on with it. Before we go into that though, you know the drill with YouTube, like the video if you like it, subscribe the channel if you want to see more content. Don't worry, more content is coming. So yeah, all that said, let's just get on with it. So in Group A, we have Netherlands, who I feel are going to finish first, because honestly, Netherlands are a group who are overall very well balanced. Now in this particular World Cup, like for the first time in pretty much ever since I've started watching World Cups, I don't see any outright favorites. Now I feel 2014 was a little bit notorious for that as well, because the teams were a little bit balanced. Like Germany was good, but honestly they weren't that good. And I feel like finally in 2022 again, we finally have that again. That other than Brazil, pretty much no one is like a standout favorite. Like there are good squads, there are good teams, just no one is really above everyone like we had with France in the last World Cup. So yeah, Netherlands, really good squad. Some standout players would be Frankie de Jong, Memphis Depay. I know I'm just listing Barcelona players at this point, but they are good players, they're damn good players. Especially Frankie de Jong, who I for some reason still can't believe why Barca were trying to sell him. But yeah, he's playing out of his skin right now, and he could put Netherlands far into this competition. Other than that, like they still have many more good players. I'm just talking about two. And in second place, now I would have put Senegal in there. In fact, in my first recording, I did put Senegal in there, but Sadio Mane is injured. That changes things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Ecuador. I don't know if they are going to make it, but they seem like they are going to make it. So, I don't want to take a chance. I'm going to say Ecuador second, Senegal. I'm going to say Qatar third, because they are the home team and I'm sure they will be trying their best to play the best they can. So maybe they'll get a point here and there. I don't know, but I think yeah, Qatar third is not a bad bet. I mean, they are a good team, though they did struggle to defeat us. Like when I say us, I don't mean Argentina, I mean India. So I guess they did not struggle, they did defeat us like 2-0. That's not important. Anyway, let's move on to Group B. So in Group B, I feel it's a fairly obvious assumption to say England goes through top of the group. England are a really good squad. Their coach, however, I'm not sure about. Like, I have seen England play, and honestly, with the amount of talent that they have, they should not be playing like that. And they have underperformed recently, in my opinion, because the level of talent that England has, they should not be performing the way they are. They should have won the Euros, and they really shouldn't have struggled in Euros at all, but they did. And like you just never know with England, you just never know when they're going to drop the ball. So yeah, even though I am predicting they will go first, they might not even go through. Sometimes they are that bad. Like especially in a group where America, Wales and Iran are present, like all these three teams have had some shockers over the last seasons. Like Iran, I still remember they played really well against Portugal. They played really well against Spain as well in the last World Cup. So, they might turn it on. And plus, I'm personally going to support them over America. Not because I'm on that side of the political spectrum, but because they are in Asia and America is not. Because it's in America. Yeah, other than stating the obvious, I would say second place though. I really want to pick Wales because I know Wales, in my opinion, Wales doesn't really have that great of a squad, but they do have Gareth Bale. And he can be that difference maker. But okay, I'm going to put America second, I'm going to say Wales third and Iran fourth. You know what, I'm going to switch that. I'm going to say Iran third and Wales fourth. Because Iran might surprise people. And Iran might even qualify. We don't know. I mean, that's the whole point of a prediction video, that we don't know. Anyway, moving on to Group C. Now, this jersey should be a dead giveaway about which team I'm supporting here. So, I'm just going to keep it short. I'm going to say Argentina goes through top of the group. Now, this is not an easy group to top. Because we have Mexico, we have Poland in here. And neither of those teams are particularly bad, because Mexico have their standout keeper in Ochoa. I'm sure I'm butchering that name, but I can't help it. Sorry about that. But like, my god, every single World Cup he has been in, I don't know what he does. Like, he just plays something different. Like, he is possessed every time he is in a World Cup. And I don't know, he's probably going to do that again. On the other hand, you have Poland, who have a decent squad. It's not a very well balanced squad or a very well known squad, for example, but there is one player who can make a difference, Lewandowski. Now, Lewandowski does need support from his teammates. Like, he needs that supply. That's why he was so good at Bayern. He's still scoring at Barca, but mostly because he has that support. Like, the midfield of Barca is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, like, Poland have a realistic chance of going through, but in my opinion, so do Mexico. And I'm going to pick Mexico to go through and Poland to finish third. And Saudi Arabia, in my opinion, is not even in contention here. Like, okay, they might surprise everyone. I don't know, because they are more used to playing in these conditions. Because I checked it today. I was having a talk with my dad and it came up. So I checked the temperatures in Doha today. So it is 27 degrees. It's hot considering these players play in Europe so much. So yeah, maybe Saudi is more in tune with the setting itself. Like, they are more used to these temperatures. That might help them a little bit. But I still feel like in terms of footballing ability, I don't think Saudi Arabia is close there. Like, I'm sorry. And it's not even that I have it against Saudi Arabia, because I have lived there. So there is that. Anyway, moving on to Group D. And this was, for me, pretty cut and dry. But that was before Benzema got his injury. Now, even in my predictions, I said that Denmark might surprise everyone and top the group, because France had a glaring issue. Even before Benzema's injury, I feel like France has a glaring weakness in their midfield. Like, if they cannot control the games, if they are only dependent on counter-attack, which by no means they are bad at, because they have Mbappe, he has ridiculous pace, which as an Argentina fan, I am very familiar with. Somehow Argentina only lost 4-3 in the last World Cup. I was expecting far worse. So anyway, let's not dwell on that. So yeah, Denmark, they're a good squad. They're a very well balanced squad, and I do feel like if they really rally around their players, they can make it deep into the World Cup as well. As I've said before, like, this is going to be a very balanced World Cup in my opinion. Like, there is no standout team other than maybe Brazil, and Brazil have their own issues. But for the second position, like, I don't know. There are two things that are playing in my mind right now. For the last 3 World Cups, I think, the winners of the previous World Cup have gone out in the group stages. So if that curse continues, France could very well be on their way home before the end of the group stage. And we just had news that they don't even have Benzema right now. Now, if they had Benzema, it's a no-brainer. He will score goals. He is in ridiculous form right now. And like, even though people were saying that, hey, there are so many good strikers who didn't get the Ballon d'Or in their lifetimes because they were unfortunate enough to play with Ronaldo and Messi at their peak. Like, yeah, Benzema got a little bit lucky that both Ronaldo and Messi underperformed last year, but he still played phenomenally. He carried that Real Madrid side. So having him would have been a great advantage for France. This is difficult. I honestly, for some reason, I'm just feeling now Australia suddenly has a chance to go through. I don't know. So I'm going to put Australia second, France third, and Tunisia fourth. Now this might come back to bite me, and honestly I don't care. I'm going to make this video again, like reacting to these. So yeah, I don't know. Like with this curse going on and with the bad news coming for France, like this is a huge blow. Yeah. I don't know what to say here. Like they have some good players, but that's rough. Anyway, let's move on to Group E. Now, Group E has the second team that I am supporting. Now, I would have worn a Spanish jersey, but A, I didn't find my size, and B, I also don't have the money. Like, this cost me a lot. Money that I don't have. I borrowed it from my father. So, yeah, I only had enough for one jersey, so I bought this. Anyway, I don't know. Like here, both Germany and Spain, I would say they are in similar positions in terms of they have enormous talent. They have underperformed considering their talent. Like Spain really should have at least won the Nations League, if not the Euros themselves. But I would just put Germany above Spain. I don't know why I'm getting this feeling. When I recorded it first, I put Spain first. But then even when I was talking right there, I felt like Germany were a better squad. Like, yes, Spain has enormous talent. Like, even though Jose Gaya was injured recently, he was going to be the main left back for Spain. The option that Luis Enrique picked instead was Alejandro Balde, who is a Barcelona player, who, if you have been following Barcelona, he has had a phenomenal rise in the first team. Like, he was not even being considered for Barcelona B, and then suddenly he is the main player. He is our primary left back and right back somehow. So not only is he versatile, he is extremely pacey and he can wreak havoc on defenses if he can combine well with the other players. Now, he's still very young and I don't think he'll be starting for Spain. I still feel Jordi Alba will get the honors there. But again, it's Jordi Alba. It's not like they are doing much of a downgrade there. So yeah, Spain has a phenomenal squad. Like with the midfield of Gavi, Pedri, Koke, Busquets, Rodri. Like, what is that midfield anyway? And then you have your attackers with Ansu Fati being on the score sheet in the final warm-up game. But Spain has one problem, which is their finishing. Now, that doesn't mean that Spain doesn't have good attackers. They have good attackers. Morata, in my opinion, is a good striker, but he has a problem with finishing. And the only other player that can really be that number 9 in this team, like at least a false, no, not really a false 9, a number 9 in this team is Ferran Torres. And well, if you have been following Barca, his finishing hasn't been great either. So Spain have that one big problem, but I still feel like they can go through the group stages at least, because they're a good enough squad to go through the group stages. And if they don't go through the group stages, Luis Enrique is in trouble, because they're already gunning for his head. Which, by the way, can I just say, like, the whole thing that came out of the Real Madrid fan base, like, oh, he is not picking enough Real Madrid players. How many Spanish players do you have in your starting lineup? Like, the entire starting lineup. Like, Benzema is French, you got Ferland Mendy, you got Costa. They are phenomenal players. They are not Spanish. You have one or two Spanish players, and they're both in the Spain squad. Asensio and Carvajal were both picked. So I don't know what the problem is here. Like, it's not like Real Madrid has that many Spanish players. Anyway, moving on from that. So in third position, I would say Japan. I would have liked them to finish first, but unfortunately they are in a group with Germany and Spain, who are probably two of the best teams in Europe. So yeah, Japan, I feel like, is one of the best teams in Asia, and in their day, they can compete. Like they have shown in the last World Cup where they were seconds away from going through, like, or at least going into the penalties. That hurt so much because I was supporting them against Belgium and it just hurt so much that they were knocked out like that. Like they were seconds away and they managed to lose. So yeah, Japan in my opinion, good team. Like no standouts anywhere, but good team. And well, you know what? They could provide some upsets in this group. If there is going to be an upset, it's probably going to come from them. Costa Rica, I'm not expecting much. That's all I'm going to say. All right, moving on to Group F. And well, it is Belgium's golden generation versus Croatia's golden generation, in my opinion, because they made it to the semi-finals. They made it to the finals last time. And yes, France outclassed them, but then again, they were overwhelming favorites. Like France were ridiculous in the last World Cup. Like they had a ridiculous squad. So considering all that, Croatia, oh dear, how do we put this? Croatia, I'm going to say, are going to finish second. I'm going to say Belgium first. Belgium, in my opinion, with players like Kevin De Bruyne, just have that little bit of an edge over Croatia. Like Croatia has Modric. I can't even describe this guy anymore. Like he has done some great stuff. Like I know he's a Real Madrid player. Kind of hurts sometimes that he's a Real Madrid player. But you just see some players who are just great, and he's one of them. So yeah. Croatia, in my opinion, can definitely finish second. They might even top the group. We don't know. We don't know when Belgium are going to rob the wall, because just like England, Belgium for years have been underachieving. They should have won something by now. They have such a great squad. They have so much talent, and they just haven't capitalized on it. Other than that, I would say Canada third, Morocco fourth. This might get interchanged. I haven't seen Morocco play that much. So honestly, I don't have an opinion over there. So Canada, I've seen them play. I know some players like Alphonso Davies. So yeah, this is just a bias of knowing the team, otherwise, or not knowing the team. So yeah, over in Group G, as I've said, the only real favorites for me in the World Cup is Brazil. Because come on, you can't go into a tournament with Neymar, Anthony, Rodrigo, is Rodrigo even in the squad? I don't even know. Like you have Vinicius Jr., you have Rafinha. There is so much attack. Like how are they possibly going to balance that? I have no idea. Like they have such a ridiculous depth in their wingers or their attackers in general. It is absolutely ridiculous how deep their attack is. Like I haven't even talked about Argentina that much, because Argentina is most like, yeah, Messi is good enough so that the rest of the squad can rally around him and get through. Like every win that Argentina hasn't really had any big wins against any big teams. Like yeah, there have been some performances where they have absolutely thrashed some minnows, but other than that, like honestly, against the big teams, I'm not expecting that much. Like they played well in that, what was that, Super Lissima, the competition between the Copa America champions and the Euro champions, which was against Italy. Argentina played well and they deservedly won that. But I just don't know where the things are going to happen. Like Messi is obviously one of the factors. Then of course we have Lautaro Martinez. He's a good player. We have Julian Alvarez. Like it's not like Argentina has a bad squad. Argentina has a really good squad, and honestly they might be the most motivated squad in the World Cup, because this is Messi's last World Cup. Somehow, I thought he was going to retire last time, but somehow he's still playing. So is Ronaldo. We'll come to that. So Brazil, yeah, Brazil will probably top the group. Like it is just a safe bet. I would say Switzerland second, because after Brazil, I think Switzerland is the best squad. And I would say Cameroon and Serbia. Now Cameroon could finish second. There could be some upsets in the group. Cameroon could finish second very easily. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put them second. Better late than never. All right, now we move on to Group H. Now in Group H, of course, some standout team here, and the team I feel is probably going to go through is Portugal, because they are good. There is no real doubt there, right? They are a good team. Like, Portugal is a very well balanced team. They have some good young talent. They have one of the best players to ever play the game. Yes, Ronaldo isn't quite at the level that he used to be. He's not the player that he was when he was in Manchester United. Like, okay, he's still in Manchester United. So his first stint in Man U or in Real Madrid, or even in Juventus. So he is not in that form anymore. But I don't know, it's his last World Cup, so he is more motivated than ever to win it. I mean, there can be no doubts regarding that. Like, this is the one trophy he doesn't have, just like Messi. So Argentina is a team which has really rallied around Messi, trying to get him to win everything. Because in the past, Messi has tried, but he can't do it alone. He needs his teammates. And so did Ronaldo. And Ronaldo now has some really good teammates. Like, he has had that before. They have won the Euros. So yeah, so Portugal probably is going to top the group. They have a good squad. Now in the second position, it's a little bit difficult because Ghana, in my opinion, is a really good team. They have one of my favorite players currently playing the game in Inaki Williams. I really thought he was going to go for Spain, but he didn't. He went for Ghana. His brother is playing for Spain. Like, Nico Williams is playing for Spain. He is playing for Ghana. So it's a weird thing, but yeah, he is a player who can decide games on his own. And he's a player who is pretty much indestructible. Like, he has, I think, the longest running streak of playing games in La Liga. Like, he has not missed a game in, I can't even count how many seasons. So he's consistent. He is almost never injured. He's just great, like, overall. So he is that X factor for Ghana. But on the other hand, you have Uruguay. Now, Uruguay still has Luis Suarez. You can't count that man out. He's probably not going to bite anyone this time. But yeah, you do remember that there is something that happened between Uruguay and Ghana a while ago. I'm not going to remind you of that incident, but Suarez was involved. I think it was against Ghana, right? The handball. Okay, I just reminded you of that incident. So yeah, so the handball on the line, that was Suarez. I think that was against Ghana. So yeah, he is there. He's always going to be an X factor. Whenever he's on the pitch, he can score. In the midfield, you have arguably one of the best in-form midfielders right now in the world in Fede Valverde. In defense, if he can start, Ronald Araujo is one of the best defenders in the top 5 leagues in Europe. I'm not exaggerating, he is that good. If he had played for Barcelona, we would not be in Europa League right now. I am damn sure about that. Like, we wouldn't have that whole moment where PK is essentially defending thin air. So yeah, we would be in the Champions League if we had Ronald Araujo. I am sure of it. Now, he was injured. He's coming back from an injury. I don't know if he's going to play at all or if he's just going to play the knockout stages. But I just feel Uruguay overall have that better squad. Ghana will finish third. Okay, group stage complete. Alright, it does prompt me to pick, the knockout stages, which I guess I can. Should I do the knockout stages? You know what? Just for fun. How long has it been? 24 minutes. Just for fun, I'll do the knockout stages as well, but don't worry, I'll do them again when actual knockouts happen. So just for fun, let's do this. Alright, Netherlands versus USA. Who do I think will win that? Netherlands. Like, okay, why was I even doubting that? Argentina versus Australia. Argentina, in my opinion. Germany versus Croatia. I would say, oh wow, this is difficult. I did not expect this to be that difficult. I would say Germany. Germany just have that. Like, I trust Hansi Flick to bring a really good performance out of this team. I'm just gonna say that. Brazil, Uruguay. This has been a very close game in the Copa stages or even in the qualifiers. This can be very close. Like, if there's a Brazil versus Uruguay, there are not going to be many goals. That I can assure you. This is going to be a close run thing. I'm going to say Brazil though. But it would just be more fun if Brazil goes through. Okay, England versus Ecuador. I'm just doing this for fun, right? I'm going to say Ecuador. Yeah, I know. But yeah, you know what? England can drop the ball at any point. We don't know. So against Denmark and Mexico, I would say Denmark. Denmark are a really balanced squad. Belgium and Spain. Wow, this could be a tasty fixture if it does happen. I would say Spain. I trust Spain to go through. Like, Spain can just dominate that midfield. They will not give you the ball unless they make a boo-boo in the defense, which they definitely can and which they definitely have in the past. So then that leaves Portugal versus Cameroon. I would say Portugal. Alright, Netherlands versus Argentina. So if you remember this fixture, so I think this was in the 2014 fixture list. So this was the semi-final of 2014 where Argentina finally went on into penalties, won that, then lost like with 5 minutes to go. That hurt so much. I'm still not over that. So I would say, yeah, Argentina go through against Netherlands. Like, this Netherlands is not as good as that Netherlands team was, in my opinion. Like, they had Robin. Just so much talent there. Like, Netherlands is always a good team, and it's always a shame if they don't qualify because there's so many good players in it. Anyway, Germany versus Brazil. This is getting difficult to predict. Wow. I would say, just for the fun factor of it, I'm gonna say Brazil. Because Germany can very definitely go through here, but so can Brazil, and this would definitely be a good fixture. I mean, so would Germany versus Argentina. That's like a historic fixture at this point, a fixture that historically Argentina lose every time. So I'm going to take my chance with Brazil here. Okay, so Ecuador versus Denmark. This is a difficult match to predict as well, because you know Ecuador is going to defend for their lives. This is probably going to be decided in penalties. If this does happen, it's going to penalties. I'm going to say Denmark. Spain versus Portugal. Now, I have seen a lot of people go with Portugal versus Argentina in the finals, because how good would that be if it is a Messi versus Ronaldo in the World Cup final, in their last World Cup? Like, it would blow people's minds. It would completely break football, which kind of now makes me think that it is going to happen, because yeah, FIFA is known for this kind of shit. So I don't know, but I'm putting my money on Spain here. Sorry, Ronaldo, sorry. I support Spain. I've got to put them first. Anyway, so among Argentina and Brazil, well, Argentina has defeated them once. They can defeat them again. You can see where I'm going with this, right? Because, you know, Argentina fan wearing the jersey and all that. Yeah, Denmark versus Spain. I would say Spain. So yeah, so far I have somehow made it with supporting both my teams throughout the World Cup into the World Cup final. Wow, this is not biased at all. The final champions would be Argentina. So yeah, that's my predictions for the World Cup right now. I'll do one after the group stages as well, don't worry. Yeah, this is a totally non-biased opinion I have. Like, wow, like, this is totally not going to happen. Like, at least one of these teams are going to get knocked out, if not both. Alright, sorry about that. So anyway, if you enjoyed it, then leave a like in the video below and let me know about your predictions. Who do you think is going to top the group? Who do you think is going to come second? Do let me know all of that down in the comments below. And, you know, like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel, like, I'm saying but do it. It's important, do it. Anyway, I'll leave you guys in peace.